So, your little flimsy piece of nugget paper, and you want to gain a few pounds. You want to get to that fat Thor body. You want that man body. Or if you're a girl, you want that woman body. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to gain some weight, how I did it, and how you can do it too. Alright, so last year this time I was about 20 pounds lighter, and my whole life I've always been pretty skinny. Definitely skinnier than the average person. I've always been very active, but I've also had like gut issues and brain injuries and concussions that have kind of let me feel better when I don't eat as much. So I've always been on the thinner side. But last year I really wanted to change that just because I wanted to feel more confident. I wanted to be more attractive to the people that I'm attracted to. And as a guy, I felt like being skinny isn't as masculine seeming, and girls seem to be attracted to guys that are more masculine. Who would have thunk? And so yeah, I decided to do some changes. I decided to say enough is enough, I'm gonna do this. And before we get started, here's a before and after picture of last year versus now. At this time of the year, I'm about 20 pounds, 15 to 20 pounds heavier than I was. And so just for some credibility, like, I did gain weight, and I'm actually going to be doing some more weight gain the next couple months as well, doing the same exact things that I talk about in this video. Alright, so gaining weight is actually pretty simple, and it basically comes down to calories in versus calories out. You want to be eating more calories than what your body is expending, and that way your body will build up this energy and it will be stored in your body. And how that energy is stored depends on some factors. You want to be, ideally, I mean, it depends on what you want. If you want to be looking like Fat Thor, then you can just kind of chill on the couch and eat a bunch of sugary foods, and you'll gain weight that way. But what I like to do is to work out and gain muscle. I feel like that's more attractive and it feels better. It feels good to be strong in your body. And so basically you want to be eating more calories than what you're burning, and you want to be lifting some weights so you're building muscle. So before you even start to just eat a bunch of food, it's important to kind of realize how many calories are in what foods. You want to do your research on calories in different foods, all the nutrition stuff behind that, because certain foods have more calories than other. Like if you eat a big old watermelon, that's not going to be as many calories as if you just eat a couple tablespoons of peanut butter. And so actually what I did to gain weight is I've been eating a lot of peanut butter, and peanut butter is very calorically dense. You could do any type of nut or seed or almond butter or any type of nut seed butter. But what I do is make smoothies, and so it's usually like almond milk, peanut butter, some type of protein powder. I've been using the peanut butter protein powder because I like that, and maybe some fruit. And sometimes if I really want to bulk up and get more calories, I'll throw in some like vegan ice cream, and then it just tastes really good. It has some sugar in it, but it's mostly like peanut butter, or it's mostly protein and fat. And last year when I was doing my weight gain kind of regimen, I would have basically make a huge smoothie, and it would have a certain amount of calories. Like I think the smoothies, I would put like a full can or a full little jar of peanut butter in there. That's like 2,600 calories. And with all the rest of the ingredients, sometimes my smoothies would be like 3,000 calories. And so I just divide that through the day. Sometimes it would be more than that. And if you have like the ice cream, it'd be like 3,300 calories, which is usually like a full day's worth of calories or even more than that. And so what I did was I would eat that smoothie, and then I'd also have one other extra meal, whatever it was. It could be anything basically, but it was a little bit uncomfortable, especially to start just eating all that food, and I didn't necessarily feel the greatest all the time when I was gaining the weight. I've noticed that gaining the weight is harder than it is to maintain the weight. After I got to about 160, I've been able to pretty much maintain that, and I've lost a few pounds, or I had lost a few pounds as the summer went by and I was more active and I wasn't focused on getting as many calories. But it's overall been easier to maintain and feel good after going through the stages of bulking up. And one other tool that I'm constantly using when I want to gain weight, and I pretty much know what my body is burning nowadays and whatnot, but I usually like to go to Google and type in calorie weight gain calculator. And so there's this one website that I like to use, and I'll put it up on the screen and link it down below. But it basically, you enter all this information It takes a minute, 30 seconds, and it gives you what your calorie expenditure is estimated to be daily, and then you enter how much weight you want to gain, how much a month, and then it gives you how many calories you need to eat in order to do that. And I usually overestimate the amount of activity that I'm doing, so that I'll for sure be eating enough calories to gain weight. And this helps me a lot. Last year when I was doing my weight gain, I was aiming for about 4,000 calories a day. I was pretty active. I was working out almost every day. And so I went from about 145 pounds to like 160 pounds in like less than 2 months. And not all of it was muscle, but it was, I'm pretty thin already, so a little bit of fat was not that bad at all. But yeah, so as I gained the weight last year, I noticed a couple things. I noticed one, that I was becoming more confident in my body. I felt more masculine, and it depends. Like for me, my natural essence is masculine. I've had a lot of concussions and brain injuries, and sometimes my body can be in a more inflamed state, and so sometimes I won't and this is a whole nother subject, but basically my true essence, my dominating essence is masculine energy. So to build that weight made me feel more masculine, which was good, and I feel like it made me more attractive to women. And I think, I mean, there's many factors about that, but it just I was sick and tired of being so attracted to people that aren't attracted to me. It was like, what? Like I'm a I'm a I'm a 10 out, what do you, like, I was just confused. And so part of the thing with attraction, and this isn't the only reason why I gain weight, but it's a big reason, honestly, because it's not fun to be liking people that don't like you. But one thing that I've learned that is very attractive to women is just, and it's not even in their control, it's just all innate. Like people can't help to be attracted to whatever they are. And so being bigger and more fit and masculine, that's more attractive to a feminine girl. Like if you're a skinny guy, there's nothing wrong with that. But I know for me, like, I actually feel more like myself when I'm this bigger, like teddy bear kind of figure, like a protector, like a secure, dominant figure. And I still am going to gain a little bit more weight. And wherever you're at, like your body's fine, your body's perfect, you don't need to change. At the same time, it's like okay to want to change. And it doesn't mean you have to be dissatisfied with where you're at. Like, I love who I am and where I'm at right now, and it's at the same time, it's like, it's kind of fun to see what your body, how you can change your body and how it affects your mental health as well, and how it affects how the world sees you. Like, it's all just this big experiment, and it's kind of fun to mess around with that stuff. And for me, coming from being somebody who's always been very, very thin to now, like, switching that and learning, like, oh, I just need to eat more calories and do all these things, and then I can actually get what I want. It's like you can get what you want. And so it's fun to make changes and see the results in the real world and see how it interacts there. But yeah, another benefit I noticed from gaining weight is obviously I got stronger, and I noticed that as I stopped having a calorie surplus, which basically means you're eating more calories than what you're giving out or burning, as I wasn't eating more calories and I was kind of just plateaued in what I was doing, my strength did not increase. Like, I plateaued in that department as well. So eating a calorie surplus is huge for gaining weight and also gaining muscle and getting stronger. But yeah, so I grew up playing all sports and all these things, football, basketball, all these different sports, and I'd constantly have coaches telling me they would like it if I was heavier, and for some reason I just couldn't do it, and I didn't know. And so it's important to realize at the end of the day, it's kind of about calories in versus calories out, and just doing some strength training or being active somewhat. And one of the most important things to do is look up foods that are the most calorically dense, because you want to be eating more fatty foods and protein-rich foods. Proteins and carbs have 4 calories per gram. Fat has 9. So that means this amount of food that is filled with fat is going to be more calorically dense, give you more calorie energy than this much that is just like carbs, like pasta or whatever. So yeah, for me it helped to have these huge calorie bombs of like peanut butter, like literally the whole jar of peanut butter, like 2,500 calories in a smoothie. Put a lot of almond milk in there. I don't like to use dairy products because it can just upset my stomach and make me feel not as good. But whatever works for you, as long as you're getting those calories. And if you're eating enough calories, you're more than likely going to be getting enough fat and protein especially to build muscle. But yeah, calories is kind of the biggest thing for gaining weight. That's why, I mean, people can be gaining weight that's muscle or fat, and it kind of how that food accumulates onto your body just depends on what you're doing with your body, and it depends on what you're eating. But for the most part, it's like if you're eating more fatty and protein-rich foods, you're going to be putting on a lot more muscle than you are fat. If you're eating more carbs and sugars than you're expending, then that's where it can get more complicated and you can store more fat, which is kind of, it's an interesting thing. I hope this video helped. If you want to see more specifics from me, like if you want to see the smoothies that I was building for gaining weight, or if you want to see exactly what I was eating when I put on 15 pounds in like 2 months, let me know. I can make a video about that. I'm also going to be doing more weight gain. I'm about 161 pounds right now. I want to be getting up to about 175 pounds within the next few months. And so if you want to keep track, if you want me to keep track of that journey and update you guys about that and just post all that kind of stuff as I keep gaining weight, I don't know if I'm gonna go past 175. I feel like that's pretty good, but all this stuff can be, when you're making changes, it can be addicting to kind of do all these things. So who knows, maybe once I get to 175, it won't be enough and I want to get to 300 pounds and be fat Thor, I don't know. But yeah, let me know if this video helped. Leave a like, it really helps. People get the message of how to gain weight. I know a lot of people are trying to gain weight these days. And leave a comment, tell me what works for you, if this video helped you at all. And be sure to subscribe for more videos like this. And I will see y'all later. So, your little flimsy piece of nugget paper, and you want to gain a few pounds, well, you've come to the right place. So, you're as thin as a pencil in your pencil holder in your first grade desk. So, you're as skinny as a bee, and you want to be. So, you want to be like Fat Thor. You don't want to be like Skinny Thor anymore. So, you don't want to be you don't want to be so skinny that people can't see you and they think you're invisible. So, you're so skinny that when you walk in a room, people can't see you because you're invisible. Well, I'm here to tell you how